Okay, YouTube, we are back again. And I know I don't do very many of these kind of off the cuff videos lately. Hope to get back to doing more. But I won't take up too much of your time today. Bit of a bizarre story, really. And it's something I've been covering for some time now. And if you were over on the weekend stream, you'd have seen the fact that I'd been back up to Loch Ness just a couple of weeks ago. And during my visit there, we decided to go and take a quick walk around Aleister Crowley's old gaff, Boleskine House. Now, I've got a bit of history with that location. Anyone that's listened to the show will know what I'm talking about there. But we decided to go back and have a look at it because it's just recently been back in the news again. It's been bought by 3 anonymous owners, and they are going to be renovating the property, and they're going to be changing it into some kind of health and wellness and Crowley Centre for Spirituality. So we covered that at the weekend. I showed some of the footage that we took from around the property. It's near enough risen to the ground after the fire that occurred there in 2015. Well, imagine my surprise today when I start getting contacted by my family telling me Boleskine House is on fire again. Yes, that's right, folks. Firefighters battling the fire at Boleskine House. And while I play this, I'll just turn this on here and you'll see some of the footage that we took around the property just 2 weeks ago when we went up and had a walk around. But it's not much details yet.
But not going in.
And it says 2 fire appliances from Inverness were dispatched to the scene on the B852 shortly after 3:45 p.m. following reports of a derelict building on fire. The crews are using 2 pieces of breathing apparatus and 1 hose reel jet to extinguish the blaze, as well as 1 main jet for external use on the property. The teams are also using a fire hydrant as well to extinguish the blaze. And a spokesman for the Boleskine House Foundation confirmed the news on social media, saying, "We have received a report and have verified that the remainder of Boleskine House is on fire as a criminal act of vandalism. 2 fire engines are on site, and if anyone is local and capable of going to see what is going on, we would be really grateful." Now, there has been a lot of vandalism in and around the property since the fire back in 2015. And as you can see there, I mean, the place, this is the only part, I imagine this is the part now that is on fire. And it was this room here and the other room just through from it, Crowley's bedroom. It was rumoured to be the place where they were doing that magical working back in the day when he was trying to summon the demons from hell. Now, it's disappointing that Vandals have got in there. Some people will see it as a blessing. They really will, because for me personally, make of this what you will, but there's something not right about that location. There's just something not right at all, folks. It doesn't feel right, and I get it, because, you know, the history of the place, maybe, you know, our consciousness, our own perception has kind of shifted. It's biased towards thinking there's ooga boogas there, I get that. However, it's more than that. It truly is. And there's multiple accounts of people that have had bad juju after going to Crowley's house. So yeah, it's on fire again, folks. And what you see here might even be the last footage of Boleskine House as we knew it. And you'll get a quick look in the window here. Just some of the damage I'm talking about that had been done to the other half of the property. Anyway, so I'm not really big on knowing all the occult dates, the occult calendar, rituals, anything like that. And if I was thinking logically about this, you know, I'm not accusing anyone, but this certainly must be convenient for the Boleskine Foundation that have just bought the place, right? Because as you can see, there's nothing you could do with that place. Absolutely nothing you could do in its current form. So it does. It makes you wonder, you know, just what the motivation might have been behind this. And again, because there is blatantly evidence of vandalism in and around the property and down in the outhouse near the graveyard or in the graveyard, you know, it's very logical to think that what we're being told here is the truth.
No.
And of course, you could go full conspiracy on it. and you could maybe call this an act of God,
when we were here.
because they were literally talking about teaching Thelema.
I don't know if it's a good
And
difference or a
that's
bad difference.
basically the religion that Aleister Crowley came up with. And on previous visits, you know, down in the outhouse in the cemetery, which is across the road, Boleskine Graveyard, you can see that there's been very recent graffiti and markings in there that signify it's still being used for black magic, hocus pocus, ooga boogas, you know what I mean? So yeah, just to recap before I let you go, Boleskine House is on fire again. And for anyone who hasn't seen what it used to be like in its glory, there it is right there. Boleskine House is a manor on the south side or southeast side of Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. It's been notable for having been the home of author and occultist Aleister Crowley, and of course Jimmy Page. He bought it as well because it seems to be something with Crowley that all of these people in the music industry, in Hollywood, they all seem to revere and idolize this character. So it's going to be interesting to see just what damage has been done this time. I expect not a lot to have been left. It's really hard, actually, for the firemen to get up there. You've got a good trek up a hillside before you get to the house. So as long as nobody's been hurt, nobody's been injured. Some people will say this is a blessing. Some people will say it's a curse if you're into Aleister Crowley. Who knows? Maybe it's the curse of Crowley hitting Boleskine House. I honestly don't know, but it's a weird one, right? Especially since we were there not that long ago. And, you know, as much as I was saying at the time, you know, there's something wrong with this place, etc., I never really wanted to see it fully destroyed to the ground. You know, it's an old property, it's historic, it's got that kind of woo factor to it. So, yeah, I'll keep you up to date on this one, folks. But tonight, I've got a very, very important show over on Truth Frequency Radio on the Kev Baker Show. And I'm honoured to be joined by investigative journalist and co-host of Fault Lines on Sputnik News. And that is Lee Stranahan. And we're going to be talking about Cernovich, Epstein, and the deep state devils wear MAGA. Tune in tonight to find out the truth about some of the characters that people absolutely idolize out there. If you're of a certain specific political persuasion. Trust me, folks, as is everything, nothing is as it seems on the surface. And this cat here, Lee Stranahan, boy oh boy, is he going to the heart of it. Join us tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, 2 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast, and 10 p.m. here in the UK. I'll catch you all there. TFRlive.com. Keep it real, everyone.